Monday morning. Well, it is the 25th day of November 2024. Well, today we're going to be having conversations about Kenya as a host nation. You know, over the past weekend, you know, all of Africa was here for weightlifting. That's a conversation we'll start with. We'll also have one about basketball. Kenya is hosting 7 other teams from across the region, and this is for the qualification for the Basketball Africa League. And we also had the triathlon event in Kilifi County. So lots of sport. Kenya as a destination for sport, conversations that we'll be having here. And also keeping up with the news, remember that there is a briefing on the launch of the University of Nairobi's Engineering and Science Complex. That is going to be taking place at State House, Nairobi. We shall be taking the coverage of that event later. And also from the National Parliament buildings, from the sporting perspective this side, the East Africa Community Interparliamentary Games will be taking place in Mombasa, and so there's a soft launch that is happening. Our reporter is Dan Wenwa, so that's going to be happening from around 11 o'clock. So we shall be keeping tabs on that event too and giving it the coverage it requires. And also at Parliament, remember the examination of the Auditor General report for the State Department of Immigration and Citizen Services. That is at 9 a.m. And also the Trade and Industry and Cooperatives Committee is conducting public hearings on the Business Laws Amendment Bill of 2024, and especially to do with the Scrap Metal Act, the Kenya Accreditation Service Act, and the Standards Act of 296. And also, the Finance Committee is to conduct public participation on tax laws at the KICC. So they're doing that. And this is specifically to do with the public participation hearings on the Tax Laws Amendment Bill, the Tax Procedures Amendment Bill, and the Business Laws Amendment Bill of all of 2024. And also, the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs is also going to be meeting, you know, for nominees for positions in the Commission on Administrative Justice. Those who have been nominated are Mr. Charles Orinda Dulo for chairperson. That has already happened. The Honorable Charles Jago Kanyi, that's going on, and Ms. Dorothy Jamator Kimengich. They're going to be meeting with the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs, and that is, you know, to pick those who are going to serve as Kenya's next ombudsman overseers. So that's part of our news docket today, and it's all happening right here on KBC Channel 1. Well, we get straight into our conversation, introduce our sign language interpreter. This is Lucy Mwaura. So straight to our first conversation, and it's about, you know, youngsters who made Kenya proud over the weekend. And Kenya, you know, topped the junior standings as the Africa Youth and Junior Youth Weightlifting Championships, you know, took place in Nairobi over the weekend. And in studio, let me introduce those who really made Kenya proud, and they have come with their medals. So, believe it. So, the coach is Douglas Locho. Coach, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
First of all, just tell us about that medal that you have, that case right there.
This is a sport, the Games commemorative medal, which is given to all the participants, the team in the team sport. When you visit a country, they have a commemoration medal. So this is the Nairobi commemoration medal for the game that have just ended.
Aha.
Yeah.
Very, very well, and thank you. And then just next to him is Ian Okinyi, and Ian Okinyi, he is in the 55 kg division. He won 3 gold medals and 3 silver medals, and he has come with all his medals. Ian, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Next to Ian is Rachel Achieng. She won 3 gold medals in the women's 76 kg division. And you've got your gold medals with you, all of them on. And then next to her, we have got Mercy Kerubo, women's 64 kg division. She won 3 gold and 3 silver. And the reason is you are competing in 2 divisions, the juniors and the youth. Right?
Yeah.
Welcome to KBC Channel 1. So, straight, you know, first of all, let me start with you, Mercy. You know, the whole feeling of having won the 6 medals for the country over the past 1 week at the Rua Raka Sports Club. Just take us through that and the feeling of it.
Okay. Winning these 6 medals, it was not easy.
Unaweza koroga shengi hapa tukuulize.
Haikuwa rahisi. The only God who helped me. I feared. This was my first African champion. Yeah.
Okay. Rachel,
Yes.
over to you. Competing in this division as, as a junior, picking up the 3 medals, just, give us the whole feeling about and what you picked up from the competition.
Well, competing in the 76 category and winning 3 gold medals was quite amazing for me. And I thank God because it was not easy. The whole year we have been planning for this. So, and we went there with the attitude of winning. So winning this is actually an accomplishment, and I thank God.
Ian, competing in 2 divisions, winning a gold in one, and also looking at your results, picking up a silver in the juniors. Just take us through that.
Yeah, it was very interesting. The game was nice. We were 4 people in our category, and I was really focusing to get these medals. Yeah.
And, what's the feeling, when you are competing against those who are older than you? Because now, you're as a youth, you took the gold medal. As a junior, you took the silver medal. Lessons learned that you can now compete with those who are up there?
Yeah. Nilisikia vizuri sana. Alafu tena kuna kuwaga na kauoga ndani yako, lakini unaeka tu Mungu mbele na una focus. Yeah.
Aya, umemsikia vizuri. Umemsikia yeye mwenyewe akisema hivyo. Coach Douglas, let me just take us through, preparing these athletes for this, youth and junior African Junior Championships, because it's a pathway towards Dakar 2026.
Yeah. It hasn't been easy because all of them are students, so we had to prepare prior. When doing that, you have to consider that they are students. They have to study. They have to help their parents at work, at home with the chores and everything, and they also have to train. So we used to train at for Mercy and Rachel. Mercy used to train at 5 in the morning, 5 to 6, and then she goes to school. Same with Rachel, and also in the evening. For Ian, the coach had to wait for him because he had to train every day in the evening, apart from Saturdays, where we used to meet at Pangani gym and we train as a team, because we also have a team in Thika, trained by James Omondi, and in Pangani we have Winnie Langat, who takes care of Ian, and they've done a great job, and thanks to them also, and the federation too. The federation has chipped in by giving us equipment and shoes. Weightlifting shoes are not cheap. Weightlifting shoes are 30,000 Kenyan shillings, and we have to import them.
Unajua utaambiwa wewe ni deep state ukivaa hiyo.
Hiyo sasa huwezi tembea nayo, huwezi piga nayo.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just for training, competing.
And just give us a concept, when it comes to that set of shoes, as to what, why they're quite expensive and how they're designed. I mean, as to how they.
Maybe I can borrow Mercy's shoe.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the shoe. This is the shoe. You see it's slightly raised.
Yes.
And then it is a heavy shoe for the safety of the athlete when lifting. Yeah, maybe you can.
Okay. Yes. So let me just pick it up. And so here is that shoe. So as you can see, note number 1. Yeah, it's got a very. The sole is quite huge and it's thick and firm.
Yeah.
And it's very padded, especially at the heel.
Yeah, padded at the heel.
So just tell us, about the reason.
Because
for this
when
reaction.
lifting, you use force. So when you pull with force, it cushions your landing. It cushions the landing. And then if your posture is the right posture, it protects your back.
Very good.
Yeah.
And then once you've done all of this, you make sure that it's
It's well strapped.
It's well strapped.
Yeah.
Using this Velcro strip.
Yeah.
Well, so there you have it. So you can take it back to Nancy. Ian. Haya. Wewe kwanza tuambie kuingia weightlifting na uamue sasa utakuwa ukinua najua hizi chuma sasa, na tumeona ya kwamba nishani ya dhahabu kwa chipukizi kwa wale that is the youth, kwa juniors as gold in the youth, silver. Just tell us through that and how you are able to get through to lift your championship weights.
I was really training hard and I was really focusing in front. Coach wangu alikuwa anani advice kila siku, tukitrain na yeye tuna push, akiniambia siku moja tu tutaweza kufanikiwa. Na bado tuna focus kwa the next coming Olympic Youth Games in Senegal, Dakar. So we are still training to achieve.
Sawa. As 55 ndo hapo totole yako ilikuwa ni 175, 80 kwa ile snatch
95
clean and jerk. Tuambie ulivyoweza kukua, kwa sababu najua haukuanza na wewe uzani. Na overall, na kila wakati ukienda pale lazima wakuongezee ongeze weights kila ukienda hizo raundi.
Actually hiyo 80 hata sijawahi chapa kwa training. Ilikuwa first time yangu na nilichapa kwa game. Ilikuwa PR. So nili make sure lazima nishike kwa sababu kwa training sijawahi hata attempt. Ndo nikaichapa.
Clean and jerk 95.
95 nishawahi chapa, lakini haikuwa rahisi juu nilikuwa na kata weight. So kata weight pia nguvu inarudi chini kidogo. So niling'ang'ana tu nikaichapa.
Very, very well. Sasa let's come to you, Rachel.
Yes.
You know, for just looking at your how would you describe your progression to where you are able to meet your current weight lifts at the championships that were in Nairobi?
Yeah, so looking at the beginning of the year, I didn't have any progression actually. There's something I was missing. So I actually remember we had a competition in Kitengela and my total was quite low. It was 152 actually. And so now, and I didn't like it. I didn't like my result at all. So then I asked my friend for advice and how he can help me, because my friend is called Anthony Libasia. He's also a weightlifter. He's a champion. So I asked him what he does, because he's the one who lifts many weights in weightlifting. And he told me I can come train with him in Pangani also. So, and since I was done with school, and I asked my parents if I can go train in Pangani, because it's quite far from where I stay, and they agreed. My supportive parents agreed, and my coach also agreed I can train over there and also train in Langata. So when I started training there, and we made some adjustments, and that's when I started improving, and I've improved a lot. This year I've improved a lot, and I cannot even believe it, because the weights that I was hitting in January, it's now my warm-up, and so yeah.
You're describing it. Okay, let me just put this into context so that you know the weights that she's talking about. In the snatch, she had 82 kgs. In the clean and jerk, she had 102 kgs. So the result that you have got is 182. So just explain to us, what is this that is now a warm-up for you?
My warm-up, the snatch actually 80 it's still warm-up. 82 is still warm-up. It's just that in this competition, I wanted to hit 90 kg PR, but I was not able because we were...
Kiingereza rahisi kwa mtazamaji wetu. PR?
Personal record.
Good. Personal best.
Yeah, But as I was saying, the 82 is still warm up. My best right now is 88 kg snatch, and the jack is still 100. So 102 was also a personal record, but I didn't complete it. I didn't complete the jack, but I'm still continuing to train because I have to hit more and more numbers to make it to the Commonwealth Games. So yes, it has been quite a journey of improvement, and I thank God and also thank Anthony and also those people I train with, Paul, Janet, Winnie, everyone, Mercy here. Yeah.
Wow, very well. Mercy, tukuje kwako. As you know, you are in the youth division, uko pale una compete na wale ambao wako pale. Tuangalie tu weights zako na utuambie pale na vile umeendelea kuinua uzani kwa njia iliyofaa. Sawa. Snatch 72 kgs, clean and jerk 88 kilos, total 164 kg division. Tueleze.
Okay. Even me, I was not so happy when we competed at Pangani. I snatched 67. I saw it was not my best. So I wanted to improve my snatch, even clean and jerk. So I went to pray to God to give me knowledge and wisdom. So I started to train twice a day to go to improve. So I moved from 67 to 72, but that was not what I wanted to snatch. I wanted to snatch 76, but I failed.
You failed?
Yeah.
All throughout the attempts. Okay, so you're able to do that, coach. Just take us through.
So that it's a technical sport, so that
Actually, we'll be coming to that demonstration.
Yeah, so that you can get the proper technique. And once you get the proper technique, as you progress, that's when you start loading weights, pole, and you come up and to grow strong with different exercises which strengthen you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sawa. Exercises ambazo zimekusaidia kuku strengthen. Tuanze na wewe Mercy, tukikuja kwa Rachel and Ian. Then coach, maybe Brian, I think it's time to get the demonstration. He's mentioned the technique and the broomstick. So maybe coach, yeah, you can start with that so that we can start with Mercy tuambie your normal training regime. You've mentioned that you train twice a day.
Yeah, what mostly helped me is squats and snatch balance.
Okay, endelea tu.
Yeah, I was not doing my best when I was snatching the weights. I was not balanced. Sikuwa na snatch vizuri nikienda chini. So squat helped me.
Sawa. Mercy, endelea kutuelezea kuhusu hiyo technique yako ili uweze kuwa na snatch mzuri na clean and jerk mzuri. Coach Ian, Rachel, you can be coming to the demonstration point.
And snatch balance. I was not snatching very well. Nilikuwa nalegeza mkono nikisnatch. And then now I improved my snatch because of snatch balance. Yeah. And clean and jerk, I normally drop elbows when I clean. So back front squats, I normally do front squats to help me to able to clean without dropping my elbow.
Okay.
So I improved in that.
Very well. And now, I'm sure Mercy is also going to be joining the team that is already there so that they can actually now give us demonstration as to how weightlifting is done. And you hear from Coach Locho, he's mentioned that any time that you have got to do weightlifting, one of the things you do is that they start you off with a broomstick so that you're able to get the motions right. So I think now we can turn over and see the team that is getting ready to give us, this demonstration. They're part of the Kenyan team that was at the Africa Junior and Youth Weightlifting Championships. So the demonstration is as to, one, where it all starts for you so that you get the technique right. Remember, Kenya topping the junior ranks, and then you also have with 537 points, Tunisia second with 476, Egypt 420, and when it came to the youth ranks, Kenya finishing behind Tunisia. So, coach, one of the things you did is you said that you always introduce somebody to weightlifting using a broomstick. All right. So, Kirubo utaekelea chini pole pole. Ndio tuweze kusoma nini?
Shikaba.
Ndio pia taarifa ya saa moja tuweze kusoma. So, Ian, coach,
Shikaba.
The broomstick technique that is used to introduce athletes.
Kwa shingo. Soma straight. Press, turn on.
So just take us through this motion.
His back is straight. Legs, shoulder length. And then when he's pressing, he has to lock his elbows. He has to lock his elbows. Okay, sasa come down. This is the snatch position. Come juu. Enda down tena. Come juu. Angalia juu. Enda down tena. Come juu. Very good.
Okay.
That's the snatch position. Never shingo squat. When he's squatting, mkono hapo wide. Attacking back yako, macho juu. Come down. His back is straight. His feet are flat down. He's going down. Flat down. His upper body is also straight. Come juu.
Because one of the things that most people do is tend to lift the heel.
Yeah.
Now it looks almost natural.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost natural to go down and lifting the heel.
Yeah. Okay.
Good.
So, Mercy, tapiga snatch demo power. So, so when they start in weightlifting, this is the position, hook grip. You have to, there's this line here.
Okay.
Yeah, that is where your hand should be. And when you are gripping the bar, they call this the hook grip. The hook grip, so that the bar can be firm. So, bigger power. Now she won't go down, she's just doing power. Close kwa mwili, vuta. Down, enda tena vuta. So, this is what to do to the beginners.
Yes.
Sasa enda down. Once she progresses, maybe after a month or two, now she'll go down. Vuta.
Okay.
Sasa. Now this is the full range motion.
Okay.
Enda tena. Vuta. Very good.
Wow.
Down.
That is a motion, and that is now for the snatch.
Yeah, this is for the snatch.
Okay.
Clean and jack.
Clean and jack. Now, I just explain, coach, explain the clean and jack, just this.
Clean and jack. You lift the weight.
Okay, can face the camera.
You lift the weight from the ground, squat with it, come up, recover, then you jack the weight.
Okay.
Once you recover, your feet have to be on one straight line, and the judges can tell you to drop the bar. Yeah.
So let's
as a front squat. For the beginner, for the beginners, we'll start with the front squat. Elbows raised, feet flat on the ground, and down. Come juu, and down tena. Come juu, and down tena. Come juu. Very good. Sasa press tatu. 1, 2, this one strengthens the shoulders. And in the motion, she has to lock. Sasa, jack, sasa, piga power jack, piga power jack, piga power. And tena, jack tena. This is the power jack. Now sasa split.
Okay.
And tena, moja ingine, split. Very good.
And so, we've seen the two jacks where there is a split where we see one foot go back, and then there is one where it goes straight. Just explain the difference between
the power jack, though it's not really recommended because you've got to have a strong back, a very strong back, because when you're doing power jack, you go all the way straight down, then you come up. Your back has to be straight. So the most recommended one is for the split jack. Yeah.
So you can demonstrate the split jack again.
Okay. Split. 20. Macho juu. Legs have to be straight. 20 tena. Good. Sawa.
And eventually the one thing that happens in competitions is that you have got to hold it up for 3 seconds.
You hold it up until the judges tell you drop the bar. That's when we drop the bar.
Okay.
Though we cannot drop the bar here.
Yes.
Because we're going to spoil your...
Wewe ukiangusha unajua hapa ndo tutasoma darubini. So lazima tusome darubini jioni. So you can now let us now go through the motions.
Umeompoa. Uteka 35. And we have two bars. This is the female bar. We came with the female bar.
Okay.
The female bar is 15 kilos, while the male bar is 20 kilos.
All right.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? This is for
the female.
For the female competitors.
Yeah. From here to this other side, as you see, it's a bit thin.
Yes.
For the males, it's a
little bit thicker.
Yeah, and then the male bar is a bit longer.
Okay.
The male bar is a bit longer. So this one is 15 kilos, while the male bar is 20 kilos.
20 kgs.
Yeah.
All right. So let's come down.
Umeompoa kabisa.
Okay.
The most important thing, the coach has said, even as you get this ready, just take us to the importance of warm-up and, the key muscles which you must get ready, as even you lock the...
When warming up,
the bars.
It's you are preparing your body for the next exercise, which is lifting. So you have to make sure that your shoulders are ready,
so coach,
your back is ready.
Let me just interrupt you slightly.
No.
Because we now have got to move over to State House Nairobi, and this is where we've got the briefing on the launch of the University of Nairobi's Engineering and Science Complex. And then when we get back, we can continue with our demonstration on weightlifting. So let's move over to State House Nairobi for this event.
Even taking root in this country, we shall be careful never to take anything for granted or to take any glory, but to return everything to you, for you deserve it. So we thank you and we bless you this morning, for we have prayed with thanksgiving in Jesus' name. Amen.
May we kindly take our seats. Your Excellency, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Forces of Kenya, Mr. Julius Ogamba Migos, Cabinet Secretary for Education, Tani Mohamed Solihi, French Minister of State for Francophonie and International Partnerships, Principal Secretary Dr. Beatrice Nyangala, the State Department of Higher Education and Research, Professor Patrick Verkoyen, Chancellor, University of Nairobi, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors, public and private sector partners, University of Nairobi leadership, students, and all guests present. Your Excellency, sir, with your permission, allow me to start with Professor Patrick Verkoyen, Chancellor, University of Nairobi, to make some remarks as we proceed with the program. Why don't we welcome him with a warm clap as he approaches the stage. Welcome, sir.
No jobs, wrong skills, lack of hope. That's the central message which I hear from people across the continent. But don't take my word for it. It is the headline of the latest Africa report by the International Labour Organization. No jobs, wrong skills, lack of hope. Every single month, 1 million young people enter Africa's job market, and only 1 in 4 secures a formal job. It's a youthquake that, if not managed effectively, could derail Africa's development journey. Your Excellency, Dr. William Ruto, President of the Republic, Your Excellency, Tani Mohamed, Senior Minister of Development of France, Honorable CS Education, distinguished guests. My name indeed is Patrick Verkoyen, and I'm the proud Chancellor of the University of Nairobi. But against the bleak backdrop of the youthquake, we're here today to celebrate tremendous news. Not just for Nairobi, not just for Kenya, for Africa. And as you know, Mr. President, A week ago, I was at COP29, the climate summit in Baku, and I was invited to address African leaders. And you, Mr. President, you were represented by Honorable Prime Cabinet Secretary Mudavadi. The topic of that meeting was the valuation and harnessing of Africa's natural capital, which, as you know, is the most abundant of any continent. I brought exactly the same message as I highlighted now. Because Africa, besides natural capital, has a second form of capital, human capital. It is Africa's greatest asset. So, it's the first time, Mr. President, I'm speaking in front of you, and I want to tell you how extremely honored I was to be called upon you to serve as the Chancellor of this nation's greatest university, again, the University of Nairobi. And that is why, together, indeed, we brought forward in May the Big Five. 5 big, bold, transformational initiatives of Kenya's higher education sector, fully supported by you, Your Excellency, President Ruto, and your administration. We have the CS here, we have the Senior Economic Advisor here, to make it fit for purpose, for the future of work, or Brazilian spear have the chair of council members, acting vice chancellor. So why are we here today? Today, we actually launched one of those 5 big initiatives. I call it Silicon Savannah Innovation Park. It's thanks of France. Just to appreciate this, in the homes of this is the largest investment of France in higher education, in the history of France, in Africa. And thank you, Honourable Minister, to put your bet on Kenya, the 35 million euros inside the University of Nairobi, because it is the inception project to establish our innovation park, creating, with the support of your team and your very dynamic ambassador, an entire new science and engineering complex. We partner with French universities and G7 Corporation. And ultimately, Mr. President, it will empower thousands and thousands of Kenya's bright youth to access and drive the digital economy. Mr. President, Honourable Minister, Excellencies, colleagues, I strongly believe that this major initiative today marks a turning point. Because in getting our response to the youth break right, we unlock Africa's demographic dividend. And truth being told, me, coming from Europe, I can tell you it's much harder to be productive with a rapidly aging population, and I can testify to the aging part, than it is with an overwhelming youth one. But it's only possible if we create 3 things: jobs, jobs, jobs. And the reality facing Africa applies equally right here in Kenya, which I consider my second home. Every year, you know it, we know it, I know it, 1 million Kenyans graduate, but roughly half of them cannot land a job. In our book, in your book, in my book, it is not right for a student to complete years of work at our nation's greatest tertiary institution to end up driving a taxi. It's not right to study chemistry or linguistics to end up working tables. It's not right to meet all the requirements to obtain a university degree in Kenya to end up with no job at all. But Kenya, Africa, we will not bridge the massive jobs gap by copying development playbook from Europe or China. Kenya's future lies in fully harnessing the fast-paced 21st century digital revolution. And Mr. President, I know you know, I know most of you know, that Apple does not manufacture a single of its high-tech iPhones themselves. No, it's all done by the Taiwanese company Foxconn, mainly in China. Think about it. The total market value of Foxconn last year was $50 billion US. Let's compare it to Apple. The total market value of Apple was more than $3 trillion US. It's one, as we know, most valuable companies in the world. Not because it manufactures things, no, because it did the research, it did the development, it does the design, it holds the IP, and on the other side, it handles the marketing, the financing, the content development. That's where the value lies in the value chain. And with the high value comes not just any jobs, it creates high quality jobs. So my message to you, Mr. President, if I may, we must innovate, not replicate. We must create, not copy. And the best way to do that is investing in human capital through our best tertiary institutions and by promoting entrepreneurship. That is why Silicon Savannah Innovation Park is so crucial. It can turbocharge the ability of Kenya's youth to lead this digital economy. And Mr. President, as we go for the high ground, and when we, not whether, but when we succeed with Silicon Savannah, we will become the engine of disruptive development. It will catapult the nation to the center of the digital revolution, all the way to middle income status, and I'm totally convinced much faster than we will ever imagine. Africa-owned, Africa-led, Kenya-driven. So with the support of this new park on our Chiromo campus, which I know you know well, it will be Kenya's youth who do just that. And Mr. President, they will do it in two very specific ways. One, by accessing the global digital economy for services. One of the professor colleagues, he's here, not to be disclosed, shared with me something today. I only just found out. Students of the University of Nairobi, of other public universities, they're selling their services in their spare time, and they had quite some spare time in the last few weeks, as you know, CS Education, to actually write the papers of Ivy League students. They write it for them at Harvard, MIT, Stanford, and earn a few bucks in return. But the irony of this situation is it highlights the incredible untapped potential of Kenya's youth. It will be unlocked by this Silicon Savannah Innovation Park. Secondly, let me be Dutch and explicit. Kenya will go nowhere in the economy of today as just consumers of digital services, of just consumers of AI, developed outside of Kenya, outside of Africa. You know, we know, I know, Kenya can do it. In fact, Kenya is doing it, and M-Pesa is a great example. At UON, Mr. President, we have a second-year computer science student, Brian. In his own time, he developed an AI app that helps Kenyan primary school teachers in classroom with too many students to accelerate the rate of grading their papers. So starting today with the Innovation Park at the University of Nairobi, we will have the ability to support huge numbers of students, just like Brian, to conceive homegrown digital AI solutions to bring them jobs, jobs, jobs. This Innovation Park, Mr. President, Honorable Minister, Excellency, will be a transmission belt of tech startups to populate the Konza Technopolis. That's, of course, at the heart of Silicon Savannah. All right here in Kenya. And let me be blunt, Mr. President, none. And I think I have the authority to say, because I'm observing it in real time, none of this would be possible were it not for the incredible bottom-up economic transformation vision which you, Mr. President, carry, visualized, operationalize, and implement. Not just behind the Big Five, but behind the total transformation of Kenya's economy, fast-tracked. So we owe it to you, Mr. President, for bringing us here today for this important step. And of course, we owe it to the incredible partnership of France behind this vision. Thanks to President Macron, and thank you, Honourable Minister, for making the journey specifically for this, to deliver this innovation park. And we will build out the park through further partnerships, such as with the United Kingdom. I know the colleagues are here, because you are already supporting the UN on entrepreneurships, on startups, and innovation, and tech. And you told me earlier this week, you're ready to do more. Well, I'm telling you here today, we're ready to do business with you, with the UK, with Gates, with France. We want to build up, accelerate, and drive this. So, Honourable Minister of France, we look forward to the ribbon cutting with President Macron in the next 18 months. But at UN, we have a different mantra. We have all the deans here. We're not waiting. We will have the ribbon cutting, but we're not waiting. We're already moving on curriculum design. We're already moving on partnerships. And of course, we also have the other 4 pillars under the Big Five. As you know, because you, Mr. President, you're spearheading this not just in this country, but in all your engagement outside the country. The second one is the Nairobi School of AI. The third, a leadership institute. So the best and the brightest young folks from this nation don't have to travel to the United States, to Harvard or Stanford. Most of them, as you know, from Mukuru, Makueni, they can't afford that. So why don't we bring Harvard to Kenya? And that's exactly what we're doing with the Leadership Institute. We're developing and launching and implementing a dedicated job center, and finally an advanced health research institute. So, Excellencies, I was here the last few days. I saw some sunshine, a lot of cloud, and quite some rain. So before I close, I want to acknowledge it's not all beds of roses at the University of Nairobi. And like all public universities, the whole institution was paralyzed by a staff strike in the last few weeks. And thanks to you, CS Education, for having managed to resolve this crisis over the weekend. However, we at UN, we fell this year, for the first time ever, to the lowest level of world university rankings. We're at a turning point. I'm absolutely convinced, as Chancellor of this university, that our university cannot only be the greatest university in East Africa, but the greatest in Africa, and one of the greatest in the world. But for that, I don't just want the staff to be properly paid, as they should. To get where we need to go, We will need far more staff to increase our teaching to student ratios. We need far more PhDs. We need far more PhDs, both for staff and students, among many other things. So, as you know, Mr. President, I've taken on this voluntary, unpaid, for the record, unpaid role to find an indebted organization running deeper and deeper deficits year on year. Which means the flip side, Honorable Minister, that's why we're so delighted you have you here. We need a complete transformation to get the UN back on track. Think about it. We sit on an incredible wealth of staff, the best students, not just in the nation, on the continent, land, and as demonstrated today, partnerships. So I thank you, Mr. President, for giving your blessing to the Innovation Park, to the Big Five, to a rapid transformation agenda, to rebound the UN, using all available assets, resources, partnerships, and to spreading this transformation across the nation. In concert, CS, as you lead with all Kenyan universities. Together, higher education can make the nation's youth, sir, unstoppable. Silicon Savannah Innovation Park can make the nation, sir, digital economy unstoppable. And with that, this great nation, Kenya, will be unstoppable. I thank you very much. Asante sana.
Another round of applause for the Chancellor for excellent delivery, and I'm sure Your Excellency, you'll agree with me, he would make a good preacher. But what's a preacher without converts? Your Excellency, at this point, allow me to now call on two innovators, and that is Nafisa Agil and Bridget Minor, to just come and speak briefly as innovators. Why don't we welcome them with a clap? Karibuni sana.
Thank you. Good morning, all protocols observed. My name is Nafisa Agil. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Deaf Health. Thank you. A startup that is designed to curb the communication barrier between healthcare workers and the deaf patient. So since launching this October, we have been able to develop an innovative EdTech solution that trains medical doctors and nurses on medical sign language so that they can better support the deaf patient. And we have successfully trained over 60 medical doctors and 60 nursing students. We are currently building an AI-powered triage system that is going to convert sign language into text so that you can better streamline documentation of medical records. And I believe this is something that is going to be revolutionary for the deaf patient when it comes to accessing healthcare. The University of Nairobi Innovation Park, together with the French government support, is going to help us build our AI prototype, as well as connecting us to mentors and a fully equipped co-working space. So this is something that's going to be very beneficial to us. And Mr. Chancellor, sir, thank you so much for actualizing the Big Five agenda, and we are ready here as Kenyan youth to take it off. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. All protocol observed. I'm the founder of a healthcare resourcing startup where we aim to streamline the connection between hospitals and healthcare practitioners, especially in rural areas. Since our launch earlier this year, we've managed to partner with 5 hospitals, and we aim to scale to over 100 hospitals by the end of next year. Now, I will not lie, building a startup is challenging. However, with the Innovation Park, supported of course by the French government, we are confident that they are going to help young innovators like myself to overcome the initial hurdles by linking us to finance, and this will pave the way for greater impact. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Let's give them another hand clap. Innovators. Your Excellency, sir, at this point, allow me now to call on Honorable Tani Mohamed Solihi, French Minister of State for Francophonie and International Partnerships. Why don't we welcome him with a warm clap? Welcome, sir.
Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto, Baraza la Mawaziri, rafiki yangu Chancellor Patrick, mabibi na mabwana, hamjamboni nyote. Nina furaha sana kuwa nanyi hapa leo kuanzisha mradi muhimu kwa nchi zetu mbili. France founded the Engineering and Science Complex as a cornerstone to University of Nairobi Big Five Silicon Savannah Innovation Park. I express my warmest thanks to His Excellency President Ruto for hosting this great event and the State House and for his strong support to this project. I would like to remind you all of the strong attachment of our two Presidents, William Ruto and Emmanuel Macron, to this flagship project between France and Kenya. Through our support for this engineering and science complex, financed with 35 million via the French Development Agency, AFD, France is honored to contribute to the development of higher education and engineering sciences in Kenya and the region. The Engineering and Science Complex aims to reinforce academic training and research activities, develop capacities in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The aim is to train the next generation of industry-qualified engineers and scientists to drive Kenya's development agenda in the country and beyond. It has been a long and demanding but exciting journey. The idea for this project originated as early as 2015 within the visionary teams at the University of Nairobi, and its concrete push was given during President Macron's 2019 visit to Nairobi. With two financing agreements of 30 million in sovereign loans and 5 million in grants signed on October 29 of 2021 between the government of Kenya and AFD, the Science and Engineering Complex project is currently the largest financial commitment of France in sub-Saharan Africa in the field of higher education, research, and innovation. We are really pleased to build lasting partnership between the University of Nairobi and leading French higher education institutions like Paris Tech, École des Ponts et Chaussées, Central Supélec, or Université Paris-Saclay. This already rich academic and scientific partnership could be further extended to other French establishments. The Engineering and Science Complex will feature 8 centers of excellence for research and innovation, and it will include one specially on artificial intelligence. As you know, we are very active of artificial intelligence. We will soon host the International Summit for Action on AI next February in Paris. You will be the welcome, Mr. President. I am also pleased to see the commitments already signed with both local and international companies to reinforce industry linkages and close collaborations with the private sector. I would like to thank the different companies on board, as well as the French Chamber of Commerce in Kenya. I strongly encourage other companies to build a public-private partnership. This science and engineering complex is first and foremost for the benefit of the Kenyan youth. I hope this will become a meeting place for the youth of our two countries and accelerate student mobility from France to Kenya and from Kenya to France. I am also very sensitive to the fact that you also focus on developing training for young women. I would like to pay tribute to the dynamism and the personal commitment of the Chancellor and the Vice Chancellor, and more broadly to the university and scientific committees, both in Kenya and France. This project is also your project. Ningependa kutoa shukrani zangu kwa Mheshimiwa Rais William Ruto for this strong support to this project, but more generally for his personal commitment to foster the special Franco-Kenyan relationships. This strong and trusting relationship will, I am sure, be expressed in the success of the next Africa-France Summit that our two countries will organize together here in Nairobi in 2026. Tuendelee kushirikiana na kuimarisha urafiki wetu. Thank you, asante sana.
Another clap for him, even if just for the Swahili. Bwana Waziri, Kiswahili chako chapendeza sana. And for those who did not understand Swahili, what I said is Kiswahili chako chapendeza sana. Your Excellency, sir, it's now my pleasure to call on the Cabinet Secretary for Education, Mr. Julius Ogamba Migos, to come and make his remarks and in turn invite His Excellency the President. We can clap for him as he's coming. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the French Minister of State for Francophonie and International Partnerships, the Honorable Thani Mohamed Solahai, the Ambassador of France to Kenya, the Principal Secretary, State Department for Higher Education, the Chancellor of the University of Nairobi, Professor Patrick Vakojen, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to join you on this occasion for the launch of the Engineering and Science Complex of the University of Nairobi. At the outset, I wish to thank you, Your Excellency, most sincerely for finding time out of your busy schedule to preside over this event. The launch of this Engineering and Science Complex is the beginning of a transformative set of initiatives build the Big Five agenda that are being spearheaded by the Chancellor of the Nairobi University. These are University of Nairobi Innovation Park, the Kenya Green Jobs Center, the Nairobi School of Artificial Intelligence, the African Leadership Institute, and the Nairobi Advanced Health Research Program. The complex will be the cornerstone of two of the university's Big Five pillars, the Silicon Savannah's Innovation Park and the School of Artificial Intelligence. The Innovation Park, Your Excellency, will seek to consolidate the university's place as a leading incubator and home of entrepreneurship. It will provide students with early-stage exposure to entrepreneurial skills by providing a single place for setting up shop, working and creating networks and linkages between innovators, investors, and technical partners. The School of Artificial Intelligence, on the other hand, will create a platform for partnerships with leading technology players in both the public and private sectors and to deliver top-tier and homemade artificial intelligence solutions. Your Excellency, may I take this opportunity to thank the Chancellor, Professor Patrick, for the work he's doing at the University of Nairobi. He has taken up his role with dedication, ambition, and vision. The big 5 pillars that the Chancellor is spearheading will definitely transform the University of Nairobi into a fit-for-purpose institution for a sustainable and resilient future. The Innovation Park and the School of Artificial Intelligence will enhance our research and prepare our youth for the future of work as engines for a far more sustainable and resilient economy. This transformative agenda encompasses what the Kenya Kwanza administration envisions for tertiary education in Kenya. It is an example that other institutions of higher learning have to emulate as we seek to instill relevance and sustainability in all our higher education institutions. Your Excellency, may I also thank our development partners, including the French government through the French Development Agency, for supporting these noble projects. We look forward to working together to fulfill this shared transformative vision. As I conclude, Your Excellency, I wish to take this opportunity to undertake as a ministry to you that we will work with the University of Nairobi and other tertiary institutions to create an enabling and conducive environment for the rollout of this project and other projects, including the other 5 pillars. I thank you for your dedicated support and availability to guide and advise as we forge ahead with the revitalization of our institutions and systems. It is now my honor, Your Excellency, to invite you to make your remarks. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Please, let's take our seats. Your Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, Chancellor of the University of Nairobi, friends, today is a very important day for all of us and a proud moment for members of the University of Nairobi community. We gather here to launch a defining component of the Silicon Savannah Innovation Park, a bold step in our journey to harness the power of the new industrial revolution and position Kenya as a leading industrial nation. The inauguration of this engineering and science complex is both a historic milestone for the University of Nairobi and a defining moment in our nation's journey of transformation. We are here to celebrate a remarkable achievement and at the same time ignite a transformative project that will initiate pathways to greater productivity, increase capacities for creativity, and multiply opportunities to innovate, drive, and foster economic growth and consolidate Kenya's profile as a leader in the digital age. We stand at a crossroads of historic opportunity and challenge in Africa. On the one hand, we possess unprecedented potential to drive industrialization, innovation, and inclusive prosperity on a global scale. On the other hand, we face complex and dynamic risks, threats, and crises. With a median age of 19 and over 60% of the population under 25, Africa is home to millions of well-educated and highly skilled young men and women ready to make their contribution to the advancement of our economies and industries. The case of these 2 great girls is a pointer to where this is going. Our youth represent Africa's most valuable resource. And you said it, Chancellor. that we are a continent of immense natural resource potential, but we are also home to one of the best human capital anywhere in the world. A boundless reservoir of energy, creativity, and ambition. This demographic is not merely a statistic, it is a heartbeat of our continent's future. By channeling this vitality into science, technology, and innovation, we can turn Africa's challenges into opportunities, transform our vast resources into wealth and well-being, and solve global problems with uniquely African solutions. Yet this immense potential is overshadowed by a sobering reality. Every year, tens of millions of young Africans enter the job market full of hope and a desire to create, innovate, contribute to the well-being of themselves, their families, their communities, and their nations. Unfortunately, for far too many, this transition rarely culminates in opportunity, and more often in the frustration of unemployment and the uncertainty of informal work. This glaring paradox of an underdevelopment in the face of resource abundance and of unemployment in the presence of immense industrial potential calls for immediate and urgent action to harness Africa's demographic dividend and transform it into a dynamic engine of inclusive innovation, growth, and prosperity for all of us. In Kenya, the situation is equally unsustainable, requiring urgent and effective strategic intervention. Each year, 1 million graduates enter the job market, yet more than half struggle to secure meaningful employment with decent incomes. This stark reality has informed the radical plan to enhance labor productivity across all sectors, particularly in the strategic pillars of the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. I remember very well that when we were crafting our manifesto, we said that we need to be deliberate, to be intentional on where we are going to create jobs, how, and be scientific in how those jobs are going to be created. And that is why we have focused on areas that are intentional about creating jobs, whether it is in our housing plan or in our digital jobs agenda or in our export of labor program. We are intentional on where we are going to create jobs because, as Chancellor here said, it is jobs, jobs, and more jobs. And therefore, it is important that as we look at the array of space where we can create these jobs, technology, the digital space is a very critical aspect and component of the place where we can expand high quality, forward-looking future and present jobs. And it is the reason why we are expanding our digital footprint. We've made a conscious decision as a government that we are going to have the infrastructure for an ICT hub in every ward in Kenya, so that we create the ecosystem for more young people to participate in the digital space by fast access. And then secondly, they can be trained and they can socialize with the entire ecosystem of digital jobs and digital commerce and digital space for them to be able to participate meaningfully in this space. We fully recognize the urgency of the moment, and that is why this event holds extraordinary significance as a strategic response. I remember last year with my friend, the immediate former ambassador of the US, we visited the Silicon Valley. And we went to Apple, as you've said. And the discussion between us and Apple was, how do we manufacture some of their assets in Kenya? And I'm very proud that in that trip, we managed to persuade the American government for Kenya to be among the countries that could manufacture ICT chips from Kenya. That assignment is now in progress. I am also very proud that we managed to sign on green data centers to be set up also in Kenya using our geothermal resources in Kenya. These are spaces that have a present and future potential. In the Silicon Savannah Innovation Park, our promise to the youth materializes as a learning and innovation ecosystem committed to equip them with the skills, tools, and capacity to seize opportunities and thrive in a broad variety of emerging industries ranging from artificial intelligence, green engineering, and advanced manufacturing. The park also serves as a model for transforming our natural and human potential into tangible prosperity, channeling the youth's energy into enterprise and turning dreams into lived experiences. This project is not just about creating jobs. It is about reshaping Kenya's economic DNA by anchoring a robust technology and innovation ecosystem within a leading institution of higher learning. We strengthen linkages with industry and forge partnerships with regional and global entities. The University of Nairobi's Engineering and Science Complex, which has benefited from 35 million euro investment by the government of France, exemplifies the future of visionary international partnerships. And I want to thank you, Minister, and through you, my brother, President Emmanuel Macron, a great friend of Kenya and a great friend of Africa, for this gesture of support. We don't take it for granted. Through collaboration with esteemed institutions such as Université Paris-Saclay and Central Super Lake, we have succeeded in establishing a world-class platform that affirms Kenya's credentials as Africa's foremost tech capital. The Silicon Savannah Innovation Park embodies what can be achieved within higher education, industry, and government when they unite in a shared mission to drive progress, prosperity, inclusivity, and marks an important step towards the achievement of Kenya's Vision 2030 and the realization of Africa's Agenda 2063. It also capitalizes on critical complementarities with national frameworks like the National Council for Science, Technology and Innovation, the National Research Foundation, and the Kenya Innovation Agency to ensure that we enhance its global competitiveness while staying committed to sustainability and innovation. With its focus on critical fields such as green technologies, artificial intelligence, and climate resilience, and the park underscores Kenya's explicit commitment to contribute boldly to global efforts to address the most urgent challenges of our time. The Silicon Savannah Innovation Park transcends promise to become an important global innovation hub, the heartbeat of our digital revolution, and the engine of our national industrial transformation. By connecting the University of Nairobi's technology-driven ecosystem with Concert Technopolis, we create a seamless pipeline of talent, ideas, and transformative solutions. This is part of an ambitious vision to configure similar systems of interconnected and complementary operations throughout the country, ensuring that Kenya and Kenyan innovation have a profound impact on both the national stage and on the global development agenda. Without a doubt, this is an occasion that brings the best of the University of Nairobi into sharp focus, reminding the nation and the world of its bold ambitions and high standards. It is a call to action to embark on a strategic turnaround, rediscover the university's true potential, and showcase its caliber on the global stage. I am encouraged by the ambition underpinning the Big Five initiatives, which set out a bold blueprint for transformation. Their faithful implementation will make the university the epicenter of visionary leadership, bold innovation, purposeful curiosity, boundless imagination, and steady excellence. And I have confidence in the management and leadership of Nairobi University to achieve this. And I want to confirm to you that you have my personal and that of the government of Kenya's support in this endeavor. With the leadership provided by my friend Patrick as Chancellor, I am very confident that we can monetize all the assets of Nairobi University, monetize our research, monetize our assets, and bring into the equation what Minister here has said and what Chancellor has said, that through public-private partnership, we can unlock the tremendous potential that exists in the assets that we have, not just at Nairobi University, but in all our universities across Kenya. And this is the big step that is going to unlock that potential. I agree with you, Chancellor, that we need more PhDs, both in the university teaching fraternity, in the university student fraternity. We need more sharpened knowledge to be able to transcend into the future that we all desire. The Kenya government will spend $5 billion every year on the education of our children, both from primary to university. 650 billion Kenyan shillings. It is the highest budget spending on the government of Kenya's budget. Almost 30% of our budget goes to education. And we continue to invest more. But we need innovative, we need much more creative ways of making sure that we enlarge the pot of funding that is available for training, for research, for development in all our universities. And I want to encourage leadership and management of our universities to think outside the box and to look at what possibilities exist for partnership like the one you're doing with our friends from France. What opportunities exist for us to build synergy, build partnerships, work with the private sector, work with the business community, build private-public partnerships that would help unlock the potential that exists in our education sector, especially in our universities. I take this opportunity to appreciate the generous support of our partners, especially the government of France, whose investment has made this historic moment possible. This park is an enduring testament to the power of ambition, collaboration powered by a shared vision. Together, we are demonstrating that partnerships founded on mutual respect can achieve extraordinary positive impact. I also have a message to the young people of our nation. The government of Kenya is shaping the present, working for you and delivering opportunities for you to learn, work, create, and innovate a path to the future for yourselves and for your nation. The Silicon Savannah Innovation Park is your platform to define the future of Kenya's digital economy. The Silicon Savannah Innovation Park is more than an infrastructure project. It is an investment in our people, our future, and our global standing. Our message is clear. Kenya will not merely participate in the fifth industrial revolution. We will lead it. Let us seize this defining moment to turn our vision into a legacy of inclusive transformation that endures for generations. Together, we must work hard and build a nation where opportunity is not a privilege for the few, but a birthright for all, where everyone is assured of both capacity and opportunity to transcend every challenge and contribute meaningfully, and where our only limits are defined by the boundaries of our ambition and determination. I wish you success as you embark on the great project of delivering this most urgent transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, the University of Nairobi's Silicon Savannah Innovation Park is now launched. Thank you very much. God bless you, and God bless Kenya. Asanteni sana. Thank you.
Another round of applause for His Excellency. And Your Excellency, I seek your indulgence that if you will remain on stage, if we can take one photo, may I request that we have the two ministers join His Excellency, the Chancellor and the Vice Chancellor, the two students, and the PS, kindly to come on stage. Yes. If the students want, can stand next to If the students can stand next to the ministers, kindly. One student next to the minister there. To the other side, yes. Thank you, Your Excellency. We may all rise now. That brings us to the end of this session. Thank you, Your Excellency.
And now it's all systems go for the University of Nairobi Engineering and Science Complex, dubbed University of Nairobi Silicon Savannah Innovation Park. And this is after almost 10 years, the University of Nairobi has received a green light from the government to go ahead and implement the engineering and science complex that is now dubbed University of Nairobi Silicon Savannah Innovation Park. And this is after the University of Nairobi, through the Directorate of Advancement and Institutional Development, won a grant from the French government, a partnership that kicked off in 2015. And this project is worth 3 billion Kenyan shillings, and it will be implemented over a period of 5 years from now. Of course, these will see a fresh and innovative way of teaching and learning at the university that involves the industry partners, of course, academia, and of course, both governments of Kenya and France. The president says at the engineering and sciences complex, both physically within the complex and in the curriculum, research and innovations effort. And of course, the president continued to say that the project will be implemented through 6 pillars: industry, academia linkage, building and construction, and of course, innovation, internationalization, research and curriculum pillars. He also said the project has drawn both teaching and non-teaching staff from different faculties of the university to head its implementation. And of course, the president just adding that Kenya is home to millions of young people educated, and for that matter, the government will of course roll out projects just to make sure that there are job opportunities in the country for the Kenyan young people. And I want to hand you over to the broadcasting house. My name is Giverson Minor.
They vary from Giverson Minor, giving us a wrap of the launch of the University of Nairobi's Silicon Savannah Innovation Park that took place at the State House in Nairobi and was presided over by His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. So Giverson Minor will be giving us a report of that event that has taken place today. So time for us now to conclude our conversation, and this is about Sports Check. And this is where, if I may turn now, we've got weightlifting. Kenya last week, the hosting of the Africa Junior and Youth Weightlifting Championships. And so we've got with us here, we've got Ian Okinyi. He won 3 gold, and that was in the youth division, and 3 gold in the junior division. We also have got Mercy Kerubo. Yes, she medals, and also represented the country for the last now 5 years. Her name is Rachel Achieng. So let's get to it. And we were warming up, and also Coach Douglas Locho is here. So we can see that they are warming up here. And the the plates that you see at the moment are 5 kgs. So, but remember, the one thing is he's not warming up with 10 kilograms. So, Ian, you can put the bars down. So, Coach, this is not 10 kgs as most people would think, but because there is the bar here that is 15 kgs.
This is the bar. This is a female bar. It's 15 kilos. And these are the plates, 5 kgs, 5 kgs. Everything counts. Everything that is put on the bar, it's counted as a weight. So if we put the 10-10, it's going to be 35 kilos.
Yes.
Depending on what we are going to add or whatever lift he or she is going to attempt.
All right.
Yeah.
So in proper competition scenario, we also have got this. These two.
These are the locks.
These 2 locks.
Yeah.
And one is 2.5 kgs. Yeah. So it's counted as part of it. So let's them actually now do some demonstration about for the snatch.
For the snatch, yeah.
And the clean and jerk. And let it be in real competition. So let's have the locks. Okay. So Mercy, you can put the lock. So we've added 5 kilos to this. So the bar is 15. The locks make it 5, 20.
That's 20 plus 10.
30.
Yeah, that's
so a full demonstration of what is known as the snatch now.
Snatch.
Ian, can you do that for us?
Go the bar wide. Then with one swift movement is going to come up. Yep, that's the snatch. Yeah.
So there you have it. That is the snatch.
That's the snatch. And in each lift, he's given 3 attempts. So he's going to attempt 3 lifts in snatch, and they attempt also 3 lifts in clean and jerk.
Clean and jerk.
So the total is what adds up to their total. That's what they're given as their total. Yeah. So
and you get a medal for each.
Yeah, for each, depending on your competitors. If you've beaten your competitors, then you win.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very well. So now let us have a demonstration of the clean and jerk.
The clean and jerk. Mercy.
Mercy.
That's the starting position and the down. Straight arms. The bar grabs your body, then she comes up, squats and comes up, and then she jerks it over her head. Her feet must be together.
All right.
Yeah.
So there you've had a full demonstration of the 2 ways, and then what you do is that you add up the weights, and it about 1.5 times is what they do, 1.2 times is what they lift between the snatch and the clean and jerk.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So preparations next up for Dakar 2026. The 2 qualify.
Yeah.
Mercy and Ian.
Mercy and Ian, and we also have a small boy from the Thika gym called Esud Wayaki. Yeah, he also won a gold medal, but because of the rain and the jam, he couldn't make it on time.
All right.
Yeah.
For Rachel, what's next? What's next for you? You've been to the Commonwealth Games, the African Games.
So I'm looking forward for the Commonwealth Games in 2026.
Edinburgh, Scotland.
In Scotland.
Yeah, in Scotland. So next year is the qualification.
All right. Thank you very much, Ian, Mercy, and Rachel. Thank you for the medals you've brought to the country. Coach Douglas, thank you very much. Keep working around it. And as you can see, the future of Kenyan sport is right here in front of you, and it is quite brilliant. Thank you very much for being with us on Sports Check this Monday morning. My name is Daniel Wahome, as language interpreter. This has been Ann Wangeshi. Now, we'll be taking a short break and then come back with Kurunzi Mashinani with Nancy Okware. Have a good one.
Inspector, kuja hapa karibu kwa gate ya Vitimbi Hotel. Kuna kazi kwa hapa.